Are 2 weeks into the ultra-competitive spring housing market, and with the added competition these days, the first hurdle for a lot of home buyers is simply being able to afford one. Now, normally a rent check is smaller than a mortgage payment, but a new study shows in some cities the opposite may be true, and we wanted to get to the bottom of that headline for Western New York. So we asked Joel HusVar with the 716 Realty to come on the show today. He's the new president of the Buffalo-Niagara Association of Realtors. Congrats on that, Joel. Welcome, and I want to jump right in here to get to this. The report found that the monthly cost of buying a starter home was more affordable than renting a similar sized unit in more than half of the 50 biggest U.S. cities. Is that the case here in our area?
Yeah, I mean, we are seeing rents increasing, and they're going up with the market. They're going up year over year. So we're telling people, hey, if you can buy a house now, I mean, you'll lock in a fixed rate, and you won't have to worry about the rents increasing.
And the spring housing market officially started last week. A Realtor.com article said today that, quote, home buyers had better be ready to suit up for battle. And it went on to say that if you thought last year's jump in prices was rough, to be prepared for this spring to be even worse. Is that true? And what can people expect here across Western New York and over the next several months?
So we are already seeing that the spring market, it is already here. We're getting multiple offers on majority of our listings. And the best thing that I'm telling people is just be fully prepared. I mean, you want to make sure you have your pre-approval in hand, so when that perfect house does appear, you're able to place an offer.
And we know that, home ownership can be great until something breaks and there's no landlord to call. And, a recent survey from the insurance firm Hippo found that 77% of homeowners have dealt with something unexpected, and it cost them a bunch of money right in that first year of owning their home. Most spending under $1,000, but about 3% say they had to shell out over 10 grand. So you talk about, Kevin's in here groaning. You talk about people being prepared. How do you prepare people for that during their buying process?
So we recommend everyone gets a home inspection. You're literally having a professional walking through your house, and they're going through every single nook and cranny. They're looking at the outlets, they're checking the furnace, the roof. They're letting you know exactly what you're getting in for. And if you choose to not get a home inspection, which some people are choosing to do, you definitely want to look into some kind of home warranty so you can cover some of the unexpected costs.
And we know, looking at all this, people might be thinking this is a terrifying idea to try to buy a house right now. What are some of your tips for first-time home buyers going into this busy season?
Put some faith in your realtors. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you hire a professional and you have somebody in your court guiding you through the entire process.
What are some other things that people should do in advance, maybe even before they seek out a realtor? What are some things that, just when you're sitting down looking at this idea, what are things that you should really be considering?
There are so many credit reports that you can get out there. The best thing you can do is make sure that your credit is in the best condition as you can, because you're going to be looking at a 30-year mortgage, and you want to make sure that the bank's looking at you saying, hey, I can give them the best rate because it's a payment you're going to have for the next 30 years.
And really quickly, on the flip side here, a quick tip for sellers.
For sellers, I mean, what I would recommend, I tell every single person, is you walk into your house like you've never walked into it before. All of the little dust that you've meant to do or that screw that you've meant to put in, make sure that your house is in tip-top shape, because the people that are walking into your house, you want them to see like, hey, this is something I want to buy.
It seems like you're saying whichever side you're on, you really got to be on top of your game.
For sure. Yeah, it's a very competitive market out there, and we just want to make sure that, every single person is getting what they're looking for.
Well, we appreciate it so much. We've been chatting here with Joel HusVar, the new president of the Buffalo-Niagara Association of Realtors. Joel, thanks again.
Thank you for having me. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you, and thanks for joining us, everybody. This is the text line, 716-849-2220. You know it, you love it. Coming up next on Channel 2 News at 6. The pandemic changed so much for Western New Yorkers, whether or not they got the actual virus. We'll have an original report speaking with some people who made drastic career changes during the past 2 years. Scott and Mary Alice are up next.